a man wakes up. He finds himself trapped in a box, and he can't remember anything. He has no idea what's going on. Jack discovers 5 similar boxes outside. He shouts for help, but no one responds. It seems the other boxes are empty. He's the only one here. Jack starts trying to open the box, whether kicking with his feet or ramming with his body. Nothing works in the end. The box appears to be very sturdy. When Jack is exhausted from struggling, he finally remembers he has a phone. He quickly takes out his phone to make an emergency call, but no matter what Jack tries, there's still no signal on the phone. Frustrated, Jack uses force again, but still with no success. Just when Jack is about to give up, he notices the wooden boxes are fixed with nails. So he takes out his key as a screwdriver, trying to slowly unscrew the nails. It's a good idea, but actually doing it isn't easy. Jack spent an entire day just to unscrew the nails on one side, only to find it was all useless, because the box was also nailed shut from the outside. Jack completely breaks down. Exhausted and hungry, he passes out. The next morning, Jack is surprised to find water and food in the box. Too hungry to care about anything else, he starts wolfing down the food. After finishing breakfast, Jack unexpectedly finds a notebook on the ground outside the box, so he makes a hook using his shoelace and jacket. After repeated attempts, he finally got hold of the notebook. After opening the notebook, inside were profiles and photos of strangers, including even himself. This left Jack completely puzzled. At the same time, Jack heard the sound of a helicopter flying overhead. He rushed to the window and shouted loudly, but the helicopter's massive roar had already drowned out his cries for help. Watching the helicopter fly away, Jack fell into complete despair. He collapsed on the ground and recorded his last words on his phone. When night came, the light in the adjacent box was turned on. Jack quickly got up to check. It turned out another person had been brought in. Jack hurriedly tried to stop the men in black, but they left without responding, leaving Jack completely confused, and there was no movement from the box next door. The woman woke up to find herself locked in a large box. The woman tried hard to push the box, but it wouldn't budge. She tried to call for help, but there was no signal on her phone. The woman had no choice but to shout for help. Jack, locked in the box next door, immediately got up when he heard the cries for help. Jack told her not to waste her energy. He had been locked up for 2 days, had tried everything possible, but couldn't get out. Like Jack, the woman couldn't remember anything, and had no idea why she was locked up here. At this point, Jack also from the notebook he got yesterday, he learned that the woman's name was Julie. As for this notebook, why it contained their information, Jack had no idea either. But one thing was certain, the 4 empty boxes outside would likely have more people locked inside, because the notebook contained information about 6 people. In the time that followed, Jack and Julie gradually got to know each other, and sparked a romantic connection. As for the other 4 boxes, people were brought in one after another. These 4 people's initial reactions were just like Jack and Julie's, either terrified, angry, or anxious. But under Jack and Julie's comfort, everyone soon calmed down. In the days that followed, everyone discussed ways to escape, although they had food and drink here. But as time went on, everyone started to become restless. One day, Henry seized the moment when the men in black came to deliver food. He rushed out and ran into the forest. But this simple and crude escape attempt didn't seem to work. Soon Henry was surrounded by the men in black. Then the men in black raised their hands, a sound similar to a gunshot. Henry never came back. This terrified everyone. It seemed they had underestimated the power of the men in black. In the days that followed, food was still delivered on schedule. The men in black apparently didn't want to starve them. Was this just some twisted game for the men in black? They'd been trapped here for a month. They were fed and housed but not allowed to leave. Since Henry escaped during meal delivery last time, and was mysteriously dealt with by the men in black, no one dared to make any rash moves. But Jack was still quietly searching for a way to escape. Suddenly he had an idea. Since they had to open the door for meals, there must be some kind of lock mechanism outside the box. Finally, after searching for a while, he found a combination lock. Then Jack took a photo of the lock with his phone. Looking at the letters, Jack recalled the information from the notebook. He discovered that each person's box had numbers and letters. For example, his was 1N, Julie's was 2E, others were 3W, 4E, 5R, 6A respectively. Jack entered the code. Surprisingly, the door actually opened. With no time to think, Jack quickly helped everyone unlock their doors, leading them to escape into the forest. However, during the escape, Julie accidentally twisted her ankle. Jack had to go back to help her. Unfortunately, they were both caught by the men in black, and the other 3 were eventually captured too. It seemed all their efforts were in vain. The men in black gathered everyone together and surrounded them. Then the men in black raised their hands, seemingly performing some kind of ritual. Just when everyone thought they were about to meet their maker, a spacecraft suddenly appeared in the sky and beamed up all 5 people from the ground. When Jack woke up, he found himself by the seaside, and Henry, who had disappeared earlier, was there too. The spacecraft gradually departed. Julie beside him told him, "The man in black just explained everything to everyone." It turns out Jack and others originally lived on Mars, but Mars was about to be hit by a planetary collision. all life forms on Mars would face devastating destruction. So the aliens selected 3 men and 3 women from Mars, and transported them to Earth to reproduce and thrive. Because Earth had no human beings at that time, these 6 people were like Adam and Eve. That's how we got black, white and Asian people. I must say this film has such an imaginative plot. To think that humans originally came from Mars. This is a movie with a truly unpredictable ending. Personally, I think it's very engaging. What do you think about it? Share your thoughts in the comments section.